Right, guys, welcome to this week's podcast. Just going over the weekend. I don't think we're going to cover much about Super Sunday, are we? Because that's not a Super Sunday, I don't think. But you got the rampant Arsenal. Obviously, I think that's 21 goals now in 2024. He's not even got his Arsenal top on today. It's just standard business because he beat Burnley. That's just obvious, isn't it? We've got West Ham after that, but we'll go into the Arsenal one since it's less hurting it. Go on, Gav.
I fucking slapped them up and down the pitch. No. If I'm being honest, I'm quite surprised it was 5-0 at Turf Moor. Past couple of times we've went there, it's been a struggle to get goals. But we had a lot of chances that we didn't take. So for 5-0, class, but it should have been a lot more. Burnley just... I don't know if it's the fact that we overwhelmed them or they just didn't turn up or the fact that Vincent Kompany wasn't there. They didn't do anything well. They didn't defend well. They didn't attack well. Just
I think
kind
the
of
problem all seasons though, they never know how to put up shop and just not lose, sort of thing. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah, but I don't know their game plan. It was like try and keep the score down rather than go out and try and win. But then when we did go 2-0, 3-0 up, they just sort of didn't change anything. They just went off. But they're scoring anyway, so we'll just keep doing the same shit.
Every time you got outside the box, they looked like they shit themselves. Like every single time you got towards the box, they just panicked.
Yeah, absolutely. There's not an awful lot to say on it. We took the chance. Most of the players took the chances when it came to them. I think Trossard, he got a goal, but he should have had a hat trick that game. He had so many chances to tuck them away, and he just...
I have it. Got a goal.
Didn't. That was a good goal with the wee cheeky nutmeg as well.
He does more than run now.
That's a bit more than run, like.
Fucking nutmegs, fucking chips, does everything.
There's not really much I want to say. Do you read too much into it, to be honest with you?
We need to be beaten. It sounds bad, and I'm not calling Burnley or West Ham or anybody out that small teams, but if we want a challenge for the title, we need to beat the teams I think Burnley and that.
Yeah, that's what I meant more the... Yeah, that's what I meant. I meant more the, the Forrests and the Burnleys, the teams that are down, like, 14th, 15th, that end up trying to stop you playing, like the Nuno teams.
We need to beat them. It's just as simple as that. We can't go there and fanny about thinking they're 15, 14 fucking bottom of the table. Because any given day, any team can beat anybody in this league. It's as simple as that. Look at Sheffield United.
You've gone back to your way as well, haven't you, of being able to score really early, I think, and then it just overwhelms teams because you've already... Like, I think some of the teams that play against you are like, oh, we'll just shut up shop for a while and slow them down and get them into a rhythm of just like when you haven't scored for maybe 20 minutes and you start taking an extra touch on the ball and then pass it and an extra touch and passing it. I think Odegaard scored in, 3 minutes, 4 minutes? It's like, the fucking game plan's going out the window then. Do you know what I mean?
I want to know what Arteta's done in Dubai for that Christmas break. Because since then, you're right, we've won 5 out of 5. We've conceded 2 and scored like 21, 22 goals. So I want to know. Do you read into that though? Yeah, a bit. Considering the run of form we had before we went to Dubai, because it was the games that we should have won that we didn't win, or the games that we were expected to win or challenge or put a bit of challenge about it. So, didn't do anything.
I've been told I've got an agenda against Arsenal this week. I don't, by the way. It's just you versed Burnley, West Ham, Palace, Forrest, and someone else this year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was the worst West Ham performance I've seen in about 7 years being a West Ham fan. Burnley have been battered up and down by every single top team this year. Forrest the shit. Forrest actually I expected to give you a game though, to be fair, under Nuno. I'll give you that. I think you've gone back to last season where you actually just put teams away that you should put away.
Mm-hmm.
But let's read into it once you beat like a Man City of the Etihad would be nice.
I think you are right though. You should be beating people like Burnley and like Sheffield and Nottingham Forest. You should be beating them a couple nil. I don't see why not.
What I mean
Yeah,
is,
absolutely.
it's not because they ran an extra couple of miles in hot heat at Dubai is the reason why they're winning
No, it's
against West Ham
mentality
and winning
change or
against
something, isn't it? Something's changed in the locker room, I think.
Yeah, but if you look at it, before the break, we couldn't we were getting all the chances and couldn't score fucking any. And then since coming back, it's like it's been drilled into them what we need to do.
I don't think it's
Yeah.
training. I think it's got to be upstairs. I think it's got to be up here. Something's.
I was gonna say what I'd like to see is if you're going to use that, and that's fine. If people think that's the case, that's the case. But I'd like to see like a stat. I don't know if you agree, Ben. It's like, oh, they're running on average more this game since the Dubai hot weather training, or they're not taking as many touches as the Dubai hot weather training. Not like, oh, we're beating Burnley 5-0, so clearly training in this desert for a week's done us a favour.
Yeah,
what I
it'd be
mean.
interesting to see if there's a lot of physical change or whether or not you're like the ground covered still the same, amount of passes still the
Well,
same.
it could just
but
be a
then you're
refresh, right?
That's what I
If
mean.
you
I
go
think it's more mental than it is physical. I don't think it's something where they've done an extreme training course and then all of a sudden they're all like 10 times fitter than they were. I think drills have changed in a certain way, mentalities have changed, and then Arsenal just putting goals away at the moment because
you want to know the simplest way to put it is we're taking the chances. We created the chances beforehand. We're running the same lines. We're passing the same passes. We're getting the ball in the box, and no one could score. Since then, it's like all we have been able to do is score.
So what you're saying is
this is the first time in our history that we won back to back away games 5+ goals. That's something.
What I mean is though, it's
like got a bigger light bulb. That's all it was.
Again, may as well use your fucking heat.
Right. Okay. So
the dog called Win is
you're
working,
saying.
mate. That's what it is.
So they're
I've
more
not actually seen the
clinical.
dog recently. Yeah, absolutely.
Win.
Also, I saw this and I don't necessarily agree. Some people are saying that we don't need Tony now, and we don't need a Haaland, we don't need an Mbappe, we don't need a striker because we're scoring. No, fuck that. I'd still want Tony. I still want a striker. That annoys me that 3-5 games that we've performed well, we've apparently changed our opinion on everything.
And
I still want a striker.
I don't mean to agree with the grounding force. I don't mean to be the grounding force. This is what I mean, right? You scored 6 goals against West Ham. I think you could have scored 11 that day if you kept your old team on, to be honest with you. Burnley are Burnley. They open up as soon as you score one against them. The only game against the top 6 team that you played against is Liverpool. This is the start of the year since this warm weather training. And it was 3 of the most freakiest goals ever. So, can we just wait until... What I mean is, if you go and beat Newcastle next week and you absolutely tear them a new one, fair enough. I'll hold my hands up and I'll go, you know what? Something's changed. I agree with Ben. I think it's mentality. I think it's the week off as well, the 10 days. It's done it. I don't know what's going to happen when you go with this week, going into the Champions League and then going to Newcastle, whether that'll make any difference.
I think you'll hit a slump.
Porto away first week or is it home?
I want to say away. I'm not too sure.
And then it's a Saturday late kickoff, isn't it?
Yeah, I know we're a Wednesday night game. Preferably, spank Porto in the first half, get 3 goals in, rest half the fucking game for Saturday.
I know what you like. Would you take a 1-1 against Porto away so you can smash Newcastle on Saturday?
Yes. You don't even need to answer that. I can read it off your face.
I'll take a 1-0 against Porto and smash Newcastle.
No. Would you take a 1-1? Would you take a draw? This shows how much he hates Newcastle, folks.
I want my team to win. All games.
So no, that's fine.
I think we'll beat them anyway, so it's a fucking null point.
Bloody hell. He's got
to say that we'll lose fucking 2-0 Porto now.
It's Calvin Klein's Premier League champion. Stand up, Gav, innit? Got the Arsenal crest there.
Standing up. Absolutely not.
Anything else on Arsenal?
I've not really got anything to say.
I think we're clinical.
I got my poison out last week.
I think it was the same as against us. I think if you kept the press up, I think you probably could have scored another fucking 4 against Burnley. They looked all over the place, mate. They looked absolutely fucking shocking. Not a surprise, but that just like I said, they panicked every time you got in there near their half.
Actually, I will bring something up. Not Arsenal. Do you respect the way that Vincent Kompany tries to play? It's a lead-up question for later on. So,
I like the way Kompany played last year, and I feel he's tried to adapt it a bit to the Premier League, and it just hasn't worked.
What I mean is, he tries to play, right? He doesn't like just sit back and think. I was like, do you respect a promotion team for doing it? Is probably the better question.
Yeah, I do, but I don't know if he's done it the right way because it hasn't seemed to work. To be honest, I don't like teams that go and fucking pitch up fucking 10 men in their own fucking box. I like teams that actually have a bit of bite about them. But just focus on Saturday. They didn't sit back. They didn't attack. They just had 11 men on the fucking pitch. And is the best way to put it. I like Kompany as a manager. I preferred the way he played in the Championship compared to this season.
Ben?
I don't like part of the bus football. I'm not going to lie. And negative our football's been recently. Then I appreciate what he tries to do. I just think with the fact that there seems to be a massive gap in class between his team and other teams, it's quite risky in doing it. And today, or the game against Arsenal, I think shows that when they didn't have anything going forwards, they weren't strong enough at the back to keep anything out, and they just ruptured.
Well, this will probably be a highlight across a couple of the games because we're going to look at the City game as well, aren't we? So, if there's nothing else on Arsenal,
it's pretty much done, I think.
I can't wait till Partey and Timber's back fit.
There you go. Sorry, actually, no, go on. You've thinking me up on that. I've been told on TikTok that apparently Partey's a starter for Arsenal, even with the signings that you've made. He doesn't start.
I would put Partey in.
Okay, where?
Take Havertz out, put Rice where Havertz is, and put Partey where Rice is. Just like it was at the start of the season.
And you don't think you lose any attacking momentum?
Nah.
Okay.
Because
Rice has got it going forwards.
The only thing Havertz, and it's going to be the same fucking thing again, is it was the runs that he was making against Burnley over the top. That's the only thing Rice isn't going to do. Rice is still going to have time on the ball to pick out the man he wants. He's still going to get forward. The only thing he isn't going to do is try and get in the box to win a header. But
it's extremely defensive would be my only thing against like teams like a Burnley or like a West Ham.
Yeah, because Partey likes pushing up too. I think it's not a case of one goes and one sits anymore. I think it's a case of they go up, they come back, they go up, they go back. How it is. Partey likes getting up the pitch, but he also likes the meaty tackles and stuff.
If it's me, he doesn't get in.
I think
because I think with the fact that you've the last 2 games, you've scored 10 goals, 11 goals.
He won't go straight in.
There's no way. In my opinion, that is a confidence killer. Forever you remove for Partey, if you take him out of an Arsenal side that's pretty much like
that's a Moyesy move, mate.
Yeah, pretty much. So, that's the shit in the bed Souček move. You've just removed someone out and you chucked him back in.
I think if Arteta had his way, everybody was fit. Well, not everybody was fit. Take Partey and everybody out. Havertz would still be out, and he'd put Jorginho in there. For some reason, he just loves Jorginho. He's had about 2 good games for us, but he loves putting him in there.
It's his passing range, isn't it? He is saying that no one else in that team has.
I would still put Partey in over him, and I'd still put Partey in over Havertz.
No, I don't disagree with you. Funny enough, I was on about this with Ben with City and Chelsea. Is when you watch that City team, when De Bruyne is in that team, everyone else looks bang average at passing. And when you watch Bernardo Silva, everyone else looks bang average at passing. It isn't. It's just because they're probably the 2 best passers in the league. Bernardo Silva and De Bruyne. They're just nuts. I get what you mean. I think he tries to fit Jorginho in there for the recycle value. Because as soon as he gets the ball, he tries to play it a bit quicker. But
he has done since fucking Dubai. Fucking beforehand, he kept just wanting to pass it fucking back.
Do you think Timber's going to be a big part of your team? Do you think Timber's going to be a big part of your team? Because he not only played like a game for you for the whole time he's been with you?
He'll start though.
He wants to play Ben White at right back. Well, I think he wants to play Ben White at right back, Timber at left back. So then it's a case of are we going to push the right back into midfield and do it and build up that way? Are we going to do it for the left? So you're going into the game not knowing where the fuck it's coming from, and it's going to be the case of it's going to be focused on the left, and then we'll change it to the. It's the unpredictability of.
It's also
how we're going to set up.
You've got the whole back four that can play. You got the whole back four that can play centre backs, and then when you actually watch Arsenal defend, is they're so narrow when you get into their own half, and it's the whole point of you've got four centre. It's going to sound terrible if you watch early Rafa Benitez at Liverpool. You've got a Rafa Benitez back four there, just so narrow, and everyone's tall and independent defending. It makes sense.
Forrest's done well recently. I don't know what the fuck he's done, but he seems to have. I think it's a case that he is sitting back now. He's not going into the midfield. He pushes up a bit, but he's pushing up to the touchline. He's not going in towards where Rice and Havertz is. And I think it's a case of if Saliba goes, you get past Saliba, you have to get past Kivwa. You get past Kivwa, you have to get past Saliba. You have to get past two centre-backs, which it's not fucking easy for anybody. There'd probably be only a select few footballers in the world that would be able to get past multiple centre-backs in a row. But yeah, Timber will definitely be key going forward. Just watch. You'll be class.
City or West Ham next?
We'll go with us. Can we get it over and done with?
West Ham.
Go on, Ben. I'll let you go first. Go
on. So obviously...
Start with the lineup, actually. Sorry, if I can just guide you. Start with the lineup.
I didn't even look at the lineup. I just watched the highlights and got disappointed from there onwards. I'm not going to lie.
No. The lineup was a typical Moyes lineup when he gets told off for being too defensive. It was a brilliant lineup. It's probably what everyone wanted for a lineup. And then I know what people are going to say is they're going to go, oh, well, look, you got your lineup and you still ended up losing. Yeah, it's because, mate, you can throw 11 players on the pitch, but without an actual manager that makes patterns and change you right on the week, it's just going to fall apart. But go on, I'll let you go.
I think Areola had a good game. I don't think he played bad. I think he made two amazing saves in the first half. Defensively, I think we were fucking awful. Again, we had the centre-backs falling over each other, trying to scramble and get the ball. We didn't really seem to have an answer to get it back up the pitch. And I don't know, we looked really weak. Like you said, we looked weak-wristed. We didn't seem to have any set idea as to what we were doing. I very much think it was just the fact that go on then, go do it then. And I think that's just kind of what he's done. Like the criticism midweek from him with the fucking interviews and that, I just think this performance, 2-0 against Forrest, is utter bollocks, mate. And the Phillips card, the second yellow, by the way, have you seen it?
Yeah, so I saw both the yellows because I watched the game.
I'm not sure about the second one. How much contact does he actually make?
I didn't see the first yellow. The second one's a yellow.
Mate, I think he touches his toe there. And like he goes down like he's been fucking shot. And you sit there and you go,
where does Phillips hit him?
He goes down like he's been shot by
but
his
also, right, it's his second yellow just after he's been carded. Now, how many times in...
It's not on the ground before we start. I can see his fucking face. This is the problem.
How many times?
Because he's fixed on the fucking
How many times, right?
It is a foul.
How many times this year have we seen a tackle like that?
2 seconds. The ball's at shoulder height, right? It's a high ball. They're both doing it. It's a 50-50. What the fuck are you on about? That his foot's not on the ground. It's a 50-50. What's he meant to do? Not go for it. If you're holding it... No, he doesn't.
He doesn't catch him, okay. You're right. I forgot. You're right. He doesn't catch him. If this was a game again, if that was a foul against you, you're saying it is. I'm sorry, I'm not having that.
No, never.
He doesn't make enough contact, mate.
I'm just not. It's not a yellow.
We've been through this off camera about our challenges where you have said this is a foul.
Like what?
How is that not?
How
a
many
foul?
challenges though as well?
Like what?
Where we've seen a tackle, we've seen a midfielder or a player get a yellow card, right? And then they make a tackle. Like it. For me, he makes fuck all contact. I wouldn't give a yellow for it. The only one who's just been carded, and you're giving him a straight yellow for it as well. I have a word.
So I don't have a problem with that because I personally think if the referee thinks they're both yellows, they're both yellows.
Mate. How many times has it happened?
The first yellow wasn't particularly. Yeah, but the first yellow wasn't particularly a yellow, and the second one wasn't a yellow. It's just I don't understand. What's a holding midfielder meant to do? Not go for a ball? You're shaking your head. What's he meant to do? Not go for the ball?
Did he get near the ball?
What do you mean? Did he get near the ball? Yeah, of course
Did he
he
get near
did.
the ball?
Yes.
Right. So if the ball is shoulder height, which you have just said,
No,
and
you're right. He decided to try and kick Morgan Gibbs' leg without the ball. That's what he was doing. He wanted a second yellow.
The ball wasn't there. The ball had already basically
what
went.
are you think? So sorry. What are you think? Let's delve into your ego. Let's delve into your psyche. What's he trying to do then?
Right. So he is trying to win the ball. I'm not declaring that he's not trying to win the ball, but he still catches him.
I think the contact
still catches him. I'm sticking with that's a yellow. He still catches him.
Fucking.
I think for me it's very weak-wristed. If that's a yellow,
go on, clip it. That's absolutely fine. All I'm saying is there's been so many fouls this season where they have been given as yellows and we've not batted a fucking eyelid. But as soon as it's against a fucking West Ham player, it's a stupid opinion apparently.
See, no. If it's light touch, mate, no, it's not, because if it's light touch, I mention it every time. If it's a light touch yellow, I don't agree. Light touch yellows are bollocks.
But it's still off the thigh.
Gavin, if I
put his foot up there.
If I kick you in the toe and you roll over like I've just fucking chokeslammed you, mate, it's not a card. This is meant to be a contact sport, and instead it's becoming this Nancy ass piece of shit where basically it's all right to roll over as long as you're winning the game, mate. It's a load of bollocks, mate. There's no way that's a yellow.
I am not saying the way that Morgan Gibbs-White went on after it was okay. He shouldn't have rolled about like that. He is still being caught. He doesn't need to roll about like that. 100% agree. But it's still a yellow. I don't think the reason it was a yellow was because he got fucking sniped.
For me, right, if he kicks him directly in the shin, right, when he goes for that ball and he makes flat contact with the shin, right, I'd give that as a yellow. He touches him on the toe, mate. I can't.
But they've always been given. I get what you're saying, and I agree that there's no contact allowed in this fucking sport anymore because there was a challenge with Saka and somebody went shoulder to shoulder and it was a foul. So I agree with that. But those challenges have always been given as a foul. Some of them have always been given as a foul.
2 cents, sorry. So I never said it wasn't a foul. I agree.
I just think it's a card. If you give it
if you listen to what I said instead of jumping on the first thing I said, it's always been given as a foul, and some of them do get given as a yellow.
Right.
I think that one is a yellow. It's not the case that it's just this season that they're given as a yellow. They're always been given as a yellow. Of course, it's convenient.
Do you not think though, straight after an initial yellow, for something that fucking light as well, for it to, because you're saying, if you're the ref, right, he's just given him a yellow, he's made fuck all contact. It is a foul, alright, it is a foul, but he's made next to no contact. Are you seriously going, right, well that's worth him going off? No way, surely. This used to be the game where fucking Gaston got his bollocks grabbed by Vinnie Jones, and now it's a game where if I whisper it, you're going to fall over. Like, it's mental. And I get what you mean if it's a West Ham player, but
I'm not
we've noticed it more when it's my team.
I'm not saying that.
No, but I mean the card as well, though, mate. I don't see it being a yellow.
There's an argument for it not being a yellow, and there's an argument for it being a yellow. And I edge towards it being a yellow. I think the foot's elevated. He has made slight contact, and it is above where they want to have yellow cards.
I think the biggest problem then is, fair enough, us two can have different opinions on it, but I seriously think we need some sort of clarification from refs then, because they don't have a fucking
It just means defensive midfielders can't go for a ball anymore that's above hip height.
Well, it just means it's not contact then. We're basically playing tag rugby with a ball on the floor.
Because the thing is, my argument would be, right, is if Calvin Phillips goes in there with his head rather than his foot, because he obviously can't make contact, otherwise it would be a yellow, right, clearly, because refs have given this, is if he goes in with his head and Morgan Gibbs-White gets the ball, but he follows through on Calvin Phillips' head and scrapes his head, it's not a yellow, and it's not a foul because Gibbs-White gets the ball.
Because he's went down for it, yes, I agree.
If it was a reverse situation and Calvin Phillips can't use his foot because it's obviously a yellow, right? And he uses his head, say, right? Because he can't use anything else. He can't use his hand, can he? And just Maradona it. So he goes in with his head. He misses the ball, and Morgan Gibbs-White gets the ball, and on the follow-through, say he taps his head at the back of his head. He's not given as a yellow because Morgan Gibbs-White gets the ball first because it's a 50-50.
I don't see it as
Refs don't
being a
give
card.
that. So
And I think
why are they giving it as a yellow for a foot that I've seen stills? I don't think he even fucking touched him, to be honest with you. I could be wrong. And Morgan Gibbs White goes down like a fucking theatre actress most of the time anyway. But at the end of the day, he was clever at doing it because you saw him. As soon as he went down, he looked up at the ref straight away, rolling about the gaff, and he just like...
I
He
feel
Do you
sorry
said,
for
think
mate,
it's
he's
Phillips.
gone for a
stupid
shower.
though? Ben's touched on it. He's been booked, and then he's went and done that where it is. You have got a high chance of it being a foul.
For me,
and
though,
being a yellow.
part of the reason I
Why
like
has he done that
Phillips,
though?
because I like Phillips because he will go for those sort of challenges. I like the
Yeah,
fact
but
that
not-
he wants to win as many balls as he can. And
Yeah, but he's just been booked.
But again,
Don't
if
do
he
anything
could,
to endanger your team of being a man's shot.
but
Is
I
how I
think
would want it.
for me, I
'Cause
wouldn't want him.
It wasn't exactly like that they were going to go down the pitch and score. You still had men going back to cover.
Problem is, best part of his game is the fact that as soon as he sees someone to book, he will go for it. He's like a fucking terrier. If he gets a yellow, I don't want him being. It's part of, for me, it's one of the best things I like watching him do is control the middle of the pitch and get the ball. If him getting a yellow is just going to make him wet-wristed and half try, I wouldn't want him on the pitch, Gav. Yes, it was right in front of the ref, but the problem is for him to get sent off for something like that, and the ref knows it's a red card's a pivotal point in the game. It's a game-changing moment, and you've gone and given it over a limp dick challenge, and I don't know.
By the way, as well, though, this isn't the first time in January this has happened because it happened to Sheffield United with Kufel with a second yellow. It was never a second yellow. So, like, it's just not the first time. And they're both.
And there's probably been others for other teams
They
that
are
we've
nigh
missed.
on. Yeah, the only reason I'm thinking of that, mate, is in the last 4 weeks. It's like that one where Kufel looks like he's going to thing him and then moves out the way and he goes down as if he's flipped his ankles, and that's been given a second yellow as well. So maybe that is a second yellow. Maybe I'm looking at basketball and that's my sport now.
For me, what we were told at the beginning of the season is that we were going to get consistency out of refs.
More contact.
It's been a load of
yellows.
fucking shit.
That lasted long.
I like us being a physical team, right? Because I like it when it comes to, I love the defensive side of it. But I hate it with this fact that we get told we're getting more physical refs, and it's a load of fucking bollocks, mate. What physicality have we got now? Like you said, a shoulder to shoulder with Saka got given us a foul. How? Shoulder to shoulder, it's fair play. Like, and this, I've kicked you in the toes, so you're going to do a somersault and a flip, and you know what I mean? If he'd done that pose at the end to show that he'd done the gymnastic fucking thing, I wouldn't have been surprised, man.
Do I agree with it being a yellow? It is light, but the way I've done this throughout the whole time we've done this podcast is in the eyes of the law, of what referees seem to do a reoccurring thing, it is a yellow, because those have been given. Is why I believe it is a yellow. Do I think it's light touch? Yeah. Do I agree with Morgan Gibbs White rolling around the fucking floor? No, not at all, because I don't like when Arsenal players fucking do it. Saka, Jesus, Martinelli, fucking Fabio Vieira, they all seem to do it. I don't like that.
It's just easier.
Thanks for your input.
Well, apart from Saliba.
Anyway, so, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with them rolling about. Do I think it's a yellow personally? No. Do I think it's a yellow in the eyes of what's went on this season and past seasons? Yes. Because they have been given. I think it's just stupid for Calvin Phillips to go and do that right after being
go on to it though as well. I don't know, the first goal. I mean, talking about Zuma had a terrible game and saying Agad, right? But just to go in, I think they scored in the 45th minute. If you actually watch all of the chances up to that point, we've got 6 men in the box. So went up with attacking lineup, but still sat back. He's on no press at all whatsoever. And as well, Agad's been turned, as in spun, by that Awani boy. Unreal.
He's good.
He's good, but he shouldn't be turning anyone, like spinning them. Like he's built like a shipwreck ass.
He is quite agile for being a big boy.
You say that though, Hudson-Odoi seemed to get loads of luck down the left-hand wing as well. He cut, and from what I saw from the highlights, he looked basically unchallenged up the left.
Yeah, but to be fair, we didn't have a right back on at the time. Well,
no,
sorry, we did.
But you're right. I just genuinely think it's the starting 11 we see, but it's same old Moyes. No,
I don't think there's much of an argument to say we'll probably be in the bottom half by next week. I think 1 point separates us from 12th, I think, or 11th or something. And we're not. We got Brentford, so I don't think we're going to beat Brentford. To be honest with you. Going to Moyes in a bit, if that's all right. But I'd like to just skip on to City, if that's all right. By the way, good point from Forrest. I'll give them that. They tore us apart, but they can do, because when you sit in your own penalty area, what do you expect?
Points.
Yeah,
It's a
good win.
Points.
It's a good win for them, mate. Yeah, I get what you mean.
Chelsea City, what a game! But also as well, I think Chelsea were lucky to walk away with the draw, weren't they?
Yeah, it annoys me. I hate the teams that they score one and then they come out in the second half and just fucking try and protect it.
What do we want to? What do we want to go on first? Is the VAR challenge worth just talking about first?
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I don't know. We're going to agree with this one, but that's a handball.
Yeah, his arm goes like that against the ball.
He's hit it twice and then scooped it forward.
Yeah. So in real time, it's not a pen because you can't see it. So in real time, I'm like, it's not a pen. And there's one angle, I'm like, it's still not a pen, even when it's slowed down. And he's holding the player, and it hits his arm, and it's like he's looked at it and went, it's already hit my arm, so I'm just gonna flick it. And it's like
his volleyball spikes it with one arm.
I mean, it's not as dominant. I mean, it is a little bit, but it's still movement towards the ball, which it is a penalty because of that little movement. If there's no movement, if his arm's still and it's hit and it's rolled down, it's not a pen. But it's the little fucking thing he does. Stupid by Levi Colwell. I don't understand why he's looked at it and went, oh, it's hit my arm. Flick. Like, what? It is a pen. Even though as much as I didn't want it to be a pen, it was a pen.
City peppered the absolute fuck out of that goal in the second half.
They were going to do that, though.
I
just don't understand why teams go to Etihad and try that. I mean, admittedly, it's worked, actually, is what I'm on about. But I just don't understand why teams try that.
I'm not Chelsea that leak goals. Like, all season they've leaked goals. Why the fuck are you going to sit back and allow the best midfield and attack to literally tent up at the edge of your box and just take aim every fucking 2 minutes? It's stupid.
What, 4, 5 chances he could have buried?
Well, the one that strikes out is that header that he got too much on. I don't know why he's. I'm not Haaland, so it sounds like a bit of a dig, but I mean, De Bruyne is a weak foot, by the way, to put that in as well. But Haaland, then he's got too much on it. Just glance it. I'm sitting there, just Bobby Zamora.
I think it's the fact that he got so frustrated that he was getting the ball, he's getting the chances, and he's either skew whiffing off his foot or he's putting too much onto. It's the effort he was putting. He was putting too much effort, too much thought into scoring rather than just scoring.
Yeah.
But it's stupid. The thing with Chelsea, and the way I would put it, is they played Russian roulette at the Etihad with a full fucking chamber. Not one fucking bullet, the whole fucking thing. You're going to get shot eventually.
I thought it was risky taking Palmer off because when we were watching it, he seemed to be their only funnel out from being parked at the back. Because every time he got the ball, he was just like, fuck it, I'll just run. So he created a little bit of relief for pressure. And then Poch's taking him off, and you sit there going, so now you're just basically just going to stand there and just take abuse to the end of the game. And I think they were lucky to get away with one guy in because I think Haaland on a good day, you're going 3-4, Dan.
Was it a surprise that City's goal came 10 minutes after or 15 minutes after Bernardo Silva came on?
No. They seem to be lacking something extra creative. De Bruyne was doing it all on his own, and I think Silva gave him that.
This lovely thing of when they're both on, one always ekes out to the left, and then one always ekes out to the right. And it looks just so hard to mark. Yeah, it's just horrible to mark.
Well, it's because both of them have got their passing ability is ridiculous. And like you said, if one's on the left, one's on the right, if they just decide to switch it, Bernardo could put in just as good a ball as De Bruyne can. So we'll just end up pinging it either way. And when you have got Haaland in the middle, like that's one hell of a target man to just aim
Do you know what? I think they were missing
I
actually?
think it's a coincidence. Personally, I don't think they got the goal because Bernardo Silva came on. They were going to get a goal, or they were going to still create the chances, and they still didn't, even though Bernardo Silva came on. And if you look at the goal, it takes a deflection off whatever the guy's knee into the net.
To be fair, the Walker finish deserves a goal. 2 seconds before that,
it is a shot and a half. Like it's a shot and a half, but again, I don't think it's because Bernardo Silva's on. They were still going to have the chances.
What I meant was it's from a corner though, isn't it? It's from a corner, and what I meant was if you see it with Bernardo Silva every single time, anytime they're over in the corner, oh look, they're at standstill. I'll tell you what, there's Bernardo Silva. He picks it up, recycles. He doesn't play in one position. He opposites De Bruyne, but then sometimes as well, he just randomly you find him at left wing or right mid or centre back, and it's just pops up. Absolutely nuts.
I'm not debating. Does he cause more
problems?
More attempts on goal.
Is what I mean.
But in that game, I don't think him coming on caused the goal personally. They were still peppering the goal before and after he was on.
I think they were still peppering the goal, but do you not think that because like Jay said, De Bruyne seemed to fancy that left hand side during the entire game with Deco in front of him, and then literally every time it came out to Silva, floated towards the right. I think it was the fact that I think you're right. I think a goal would have come eventually, but I think putting Silva on added that extra problem because they were getting pressure on both sides that time. Gusto, by the way, had a hell of a game for Chelsea.
Yeah, I don't have a clue where the fuck he got that from, but
I think
he was pretty impressive.
He was all over that left-hand side.
Yeah. I think, just to touch on Bernardo Silva again, if you go look at before and after, and where the goal came from, where Rodri coming in to shooting it on the edge of the box, look how many chances there was before Bernardo Silva came on from that area. There was the same amount as there was before. I think in a different game, you're not having that. If Bernardo Silva comes on and there's more chances like that after he came on, I would agree with you. But it's the fact that they were doing it beforehand and they were doing it after he came on. I think it was another selection headache for Poch. Him coming on, what's going to happen now? I think that was a cause, but I don't think it was a cause of the goal.
No, what I mean is though, he's one of those nightmare players where you have to put a man probably on him. He's the same as De Bruyne, but if you put a man on him, you just end up with a 20-yard hole in the middle of the midfield because you'll jag him everywhere.
Yeah,
he's just like you saw that at Man United, didn't you, earlier this season? Literally, Bernardo Silva was picking the ball up at left back and bringing the centre midfielder over, and it was just he just does it. He's horrible to play against. I can imagine.
It's a great game of football. Lovely to watch.
He was almost away in the summer as well.
Doku's had some stick. For the left side, I didn't think he was that bad. I just think it's very hard for a winger to go when you've automatically been doubling up and there's no overlapping fullback to take the other man away.
I don't think he's at fault. I think the problem was like Chelsea went ultra defensive, so there was like no space for him to go into, and Gusto was on him like a tramp on chips. Like I genuinely think that every time he tried to get a break, he ended up playing it back in because he just couldn't get past him.
Yeah.
Especially when that young fella that was on what's his name? That was on loan at Leicester came on, and he came on. The first thing he done was fucking snap someone, and he was shit.
The Italian,
I don't think he was good. He came on. Doku ruined him a couple of times, but it was Gusto. He just seemed to struggle to get past.
Yeah. No, I think it was the pace of Gusto because Doku is a flying player, but I think it's the fact of with the ball, Doku's not that quick. Right, he's not as quick as what he is without it. So I think when Gusto has that extra step on him, he's matching him the whole way. There's not Doku's in front and Gusto's coming in. It's the fact of they're there the whole way. He's like, you want to get past me, you're going to have to fucking work to get past me. You're not just going to brush the ball past me and sprint past me because I'm just going to fucking melt you off the fucking ball. I think that's why Doku had not a poor game. He just had a difficult game.
Any more confident of the Premier League, Gav? With Man City drawing? Now you're above him? They have got a game in hand.
There's still a game in hand. They can go a point in front of us. No, I'm not as confident. I'm not more confident. I'm not less confident than what I was last week. Still in the same boat. Have we got a chance? Yeah. I think we will. Probably not. There is a chance. That's where I stand on it.
Right. Just one. Well, actually, I'll tell you what, we'll do predictions, and then I've got a bit of a rant. But we'll go for the predictions first. Arsenal Newcastle. That is going to be a fucking well good game, I would think. Is it the Emirates? All right, Gav's going right. Okay, I won't do my little introduction. That's fine. That's at the Emirates, by the way. 3-0 apparently. That's fine. Go on, Ben.
2-2. Sorry, 2-0. I said 2, not 3.
Oh, did you? Ben?
I actually think it's going to be a really tough game for you. I think I'm going to go 3-2 Newcastle.
I mean, they did struggle against Bournemouth.
I know that, but look at Liverpool. They come out with a 4-1 lead, and they looked a bit streaky the last couple of games. Maybe Newcastle. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be an easy game.
Not that my predictions meant much last week, but I was going to say 1-1. I think.
No, did you not say West Ham was getting beat?
Who, me? No, I think I said a draw. I've got a draw in my head
for some
reason. 1-1 draw.
Right. Did I say 4-0 last week or 5-0?
No, I did say we were going to get beat by Forrest 2-0 actually. By the way, can I just say I've had the most predictions right this year from us three. Ben said 4-0. Gav said 3-0, and I said 1-1. Because I thought Burnley were going to shut up shop. I don't know why, because I knew they weren't going to either. But I don't know. And then you've got the biggest game of the weekend, obviously. You've got West Ham, Brentford. That's at West Ham.
3-1 Brentford.
2-0 Brentford.
The thing is, I want to be a bit...
I'll go positive. It doesn't work. I tried it after the season, and it's fucking blown up in my face every time.
I'm going 2-1 West Ham.
Yeah, Ben goes, Moyes is shit, get him, but we'll win 2-0 next week.
Oh, I know.
Because I'm like, get into fuck, but please win a game. Like, please. Make my weekends. Stop giving me depression. Like, fuck.
The last thing I want to catch on, if that's all right, Gav, obviously you can put your 2 pence in about this, is I don't know if you've seen it, but it seems like every single journalist from pretty much Sunday to at least Thursday since I saw it has all put out their comments supporting David Moyes. And then to make injuries worse, David Moyes then on Friday came out on his pre-match conference, I don't know everyone saw, going something along the lines of, not verbatim, is I don't think that West Ham fans are entertained, but the West Ham manager that's right here has won more than every other West Ham manager.
Yeah, I heard that.
I just want to read out a couple of names that have backed him, if that's all right. You've got Andy Goldstein, Jim White, who's just a clickbait merchant. He doesn't know what he's on about. And Robbie Savage. I could be wrong, but I actually wanted your opinion, Gavin. Were these the same people that probably backed Wenger when Wenger was in a bit of a... I'm not putting them in the same boat. I'm just wondering whether they're always steady eddies or whether they actually ever thought about themselves.
Personally, I can't. I want to say Robbie Savage was one of those who are going, I think the whole regime against Wenger towards his end of his tenure is unjustified. They need to remember. I get it, and I agree with West Ham fans, and I agree with Moyes to some extent. He has given West Ham fans one of the best experiences I've ever had of winning a European competition. But when it's time to go, it's time to go. You can't. This is the problem with Wenger, and this is where at the time I was sitting on it. Wenger gave us the best experiences in his early years. Invincible season, getting to Champions League finals, winning the league, doing all this. But when it got to the nitty-gritty end of it, he should have left. This way Sir Alex Ferguson left. He knew it was time to go. He left on a high. if you stay an extra couple of years after you're not wanted, you're going to get the sour taste in fans' mouth where they're going to start wanting you out, not asking you to leave. They're going to jail. Remember this. I don't think it was the manager. I think it was actually the higher ups. Did you just not like stop a game or go on the pitch or something?
Burnley.
Was it Burnley?
Burnley 5 years ago.
You're going to get stuff like that. So I don't understand why managers go, "Oh yeah, I mean we're not doing well just so far, but I've done this. You've done this, so fuck off now. Let somebody else come in and kind of take over and go higher and bigger."
Go on, Ben.
What I've seemed to notice, and it's fucking me off a lot actually, is the it's not just the attitude on TikTok. It's not just the attitude from the media as well. It seems to be combined. Moyes has won loads. He's an experienced manager, so you should just shut up and put up with it. No, and especially with some of the TikToks we put out. So every team, in my opinion, should aspire to do better. Yeah, that's the whole point. Because if you're just going to be happy where you are and shit the bed, you're just palace, basically. So for me, you should always be aiming to improve. But
I mean, they did sack their manager, but
the comments
we'll go into that.
Especially West Ham themed videos, seem to be, we'll deal with it, be happy with what you've got. Surely we should be pushing to get better. Yes, we've won a European trophy. It's our first trophy in 40-odd years. Brilliant, right? But we came close to relegation last year. We're now playing shit football again. We've now got Europe coming up as well. Moyes has played shit consecutively for the last, 4 or 5 games now? And we just seem to be constantly told, no, you play, you're West Ham.
It's not been 4 or 5 games though, Ben. This is what I want about. It's been so. Gavin will remember this because me and Gavin, we had pretty much every weekend in the pub, and West Ham were on quite a lot of the TV at the time. But the game that I last remember where we were actually West Ham, I think it was 4-1 at Villa Park. It was just before the Frankfurt semi-final in the Europa League. So that was just before the complete. In my opinion, we haven't been the same team since then. And I know a lot of people are going to turn around and go, "Oh, you had a brilliant start to the season." If we're all very, very honest with ourselves, we've beat a lot of teams based on being solid and individual brilliance. I think you've seen that with Paqueta being out. We don't have it at the moment. We don't have that ball up there now, so we aren't scoring. My thing is that hasn't been 6 months. I know a lot of people don't follow West Ham's going to think that was just last year. It wasn't. I think that was the spring of 2021 or 2022. It's been a long time since we've been actually what I'd call a good Moyes team. We don't defend particularly well now. We don't press well. We don't have high energy levels. We punt the ball up to Bowen, hoping for the fucking best. And my thing is, it's like what you said with Robbie Savage going. Robbie Savage went. West Ham fans are asking for De Zerbi. Right, firstly, we're not asking for De Zerbi. What we're saying is Brighton got a new manager in and they are doing better than what they were doing with Potter. What is wrong with taking a gamble? You've got multiple stories in the Premier League right now where they took a gamble. Villa weren't happy with Gerrard. They got Emery in. Arsenal weren't happy with... Was it Emery, Gav, before Arteta? Weren't happy with Emery. Guess what? They got Arteta in. All right. They're trying to find their way to challenge, but they're trying to challenge. You've got... Brighton's done it. You've got a couple of teams in the Premier League. You got Newcastle. Literally, as soon as you've got new ownership, thingy off. Yeah, what I mean is though, just
if you actually look back at it, Liverpool took a gamble on Klopp, and look what's happened there. I'm not saying that you're going to get rid of Moyes and get the fucking next Klopp and win the league and do this and that. But look at Liverpool. They gambled on Klopp. Klopp was good at Dortmund, but he wasn't prolific. He's in Liverpool's went, Kenwell, he might do well at us. They've got him in. They've won the Champions League. They won the Premier League in God knows how many years it was. They've won countless trophies. They're constantly challenging for the top spot, except for last year. Why? This is the thing that pissed me off with this whole thing this week. Is it feels like football fans or club fans should not have an opinion. You should not have an opinion on what's best for the club. Because we don't run the club. We don't.
Well, it's because you haven't played the game, Gav. It's because you haven't played the game. You're not allowed an opinion.
It's stupid. Like, I don't need to know fucking anything how to run a football team, but I know not to put fucking Havertz in fucking goal.
Yeah.
I know what makes a good manager. I know what doesn't make a good manager. Moyes in his day, he was a decent manager. He was a decent to good manager.
But you hit the nail on the head.
Nowadays,
in his day,
he's not. He's not there now, and I'm not comparing him to the Wengers, and Sir Alex Fergusons, but they were the best in the league. They were the best for years. Sir Alex Ferguson left, and United fans didn't hate on him. They knew he was going to go fine. From then to when Arsene Wenger left in about 2018, Arsenal fans turned sour and we wanted them to leave. At the start of it was, please just go. Then it went to the banners. Then it went to being publicised on AFTV and stuff like that. We don't want to do that. We want the club to listen to us. We want to have an input. We don't want to run the club, but don't speak down to us and go, West Ham fans want De Zerbi. It's not the fact we want De Zerbi. We want to be successful. We want to be a good football team now. We don't want to be fucking sitting there.
Even if you don't want to go on the continent, because I have a big problem sometimes about going for random continental managers, right? But my thing is if you go just in England right now, I would take Gary O'Neill, the geezer at Bournemouth, or Thomas Frank. No, the thing is, I think Potter's probably in at Man United if Ten Hag gets sacked. But yes, I would take Potter. My point is, and they all play better football. And if you look at Gary O'Neill right now, he's got a worse team, and I think he's 4 points off us.
Yeah.
So what? And Moyes' way is he's changed his stance, because when he came back, he went, let me get it solid, working from the back upwards, and then we'll start playing actual nice football. And then every Everton fan turned around when he came back on a permanent job and went, yeah, good luck. We ended up seventh, whatever it was it 2 years ago? And then the year last year. Yeah, no, I'll take Gary O'Neill right now. I just think that the better football, and do you know what it is? Well, he's suited for it because he's an ex-West Ham player.
For me, it's the complacency. It's the put up and shut up. And I agree with you. I think Moyes does need to go. And I would take. There are a couple of other managers I would take right now. I just think we need to change, because I think you're right. I think the way it's going, in what? How many points are we above for dropping down in the second half of the table?
Well, no, I think you've got, if you lose this weekend against Brentford, and one of the teams below us gets a draw, two of the teams below us gets at least a point, we're down, mate. We're down to 11th or 12th.
For me, he should have been sacked after the Arsenal
You're not
game.
getting.
He should have been gone.
Mate, but my problem is, it's like 2 seconds, Gavin. It's like where you turn around, and this is what I was asking about Wenger, right? Because I remember Wenger getting a bit snippy with Arsenal fans towards the end and going, "Oh, remember what I've done," and everything like that. And you're like, that's credit in the bank, mate. But Wenger's credit in the bank compared to Moyes' is not the same.
No.
Moyes won a European Cup. I will remind everyone, we were the worst team in that final.
Yeah.
I know people are going to go, you don't play in finals to win them, but that's fine. We had a terrible season. He probably should have just been, that's a cup. See you later. Yeah. Enjoy your year. That's done. And I just think we're so short-sighted. As well, Gary O'Neill got sacked off Bournemouth that summer. I would have took him straight away.
Yeah. No, did he get sacked or did he leave? Was it sacked?
Well, sorry. He didn't get kept permanent, and then they signed that Spaniard.
Not that well.
I just think we need rid, but the media protects him, mate. Jim White, who, by the way, is a total wanker.
It's not just David Moyes.
He's absolute thief for the West Ham.
He loves the West Ham. He's such a rim job. He tongue in arse. He is such a fucking mug. West Ham fans should just be grateful. Fuck off. I'm not being grateful. Getting beat 6-0 at Arsenal, you cunt.
That's the thing that pisses me off. Is it feels like they talk down through the media. They talk down to us. You shouldn't have your opinion because you don't have a platform to voice it. You then have a platform to voice it. Then you're in the wrong for voicing that opinion because you need to remember what said managers have done for you. And it's the fact of we're not being ungrateful of Arsene Wenger winning the Invincible. We're not being ungrateful of David Moyes winning the European trophy. We want what's best for the club, and if that means said manager's out the fucking door, he's out the door. Don't sit there and go, you shouldn't say this, you shouldn't say that. We're not calling for his fucking head.
Also,
put it the simplest way, right? Put it the simplest way. Any 2 cents, Ben. Any Spurs fans right now would keep Ange rather than getting Mourinho back.
Yeah.
Because they are playing good football. All right, at times you lose, right? And that's fine. But at the end of the day, it's also as well, they talk down to you because they think like, it's double-sided, right? Because they think, oh, you're a West Ham fan, put up and shut up, you ain't Man United, and that's fine. But I don't mind finishing 11th or 10th or 8th or 9th and having the odd season in Europe. I want to see good football. Slaven Bilic done it for a year and a half at West Ham before he got sacked. Shouldn't have got sacked, by the way, in my opinion. But I want to see football where I turn around to say you go to the Emirates every so often and it's a close game and say it's a draw, but say we play off the park, I take that.
Yeah.
See, for me, right, if I pay for a fucking ticket or I buy a T-shirt for my club, I deserve a fucking opinion.
You deserve an opinion anyway,
no,
Ben.
but
It's not being funny. The geezer who owns us is Welsh.
But what I mean is, right, I'm not having some ex-footballer like fucking Robbie Savage, who, if I buy a ticket, mate, and I'm entitled to a fucking opinion for my club, you can't turn around and just go, you just need to accept it, mate. That's not how this works. The only reason that the club runs is because the fans buy the tickets, we buy the merch. If not, there's no club. You get no money. There is no fucking ivory tower or anything like that. So I don't think you could just tell your fans, you just got to deal with it, mate. I don't be wrong. I don't think we could just get whatever we want because we don't run businesses, we don't run the football clubs.
No, I'm not asking for Pep Guardiola though, Ben.
But just give us a fucking don't treat us like a cunt.
You want better for the club is the thing. We as Jay says, we're but West Ham fans aren't asking for the Peps. We're not asking for the Champions League. We're asking to be consistently good, play good football, and as Jay said, occasionally get into Europe, get into finals, get into semi-finals. Do that. We're not asking overly much.
I'd like to see, rather than this, because this is going to sound backhanded, is when Moyes leaves, Moyes will leave nothing behind. And when I mean that is when you watch the Mourinho's leave and you watch Conte's leave, they leave nothing behind. When Moyes leaves, I think we've got the second oldest squad in the Premier League on average. When Moyes leaves, it leaves in the summer, there is a huge rebuilding job to be done around the whole back line, around probably the spine of the team, right? When I mean that, as in for the next couple of years, Moyes isn't going to do that because I'm not being funny, he's not going to be there another 5 years. What I want to see is what Chelsea did, is when they went, we're going to bring Poch in, don't expect anything this year, but he will put a platform in for us to try and up a level. It's the same as what Arteta's done. As much as I don't agree, as much as I say I don't think he's improved your standing as in compared to Wenger, he's improved your chances that in 3, 4, 5 years, when he leaves and a new manager comes in, if they have the same identity, he already has a springboard into that. It's what Brighton have done. They bring in the right management that make it from this level and up, and then the next manager takes them from there to there, there to there, there to there, and it's like a conveyor belt. It's an actual fucking plan, rather than this scattergun panic approach where it's like, oh, we're 13th, let's bring Moyes in for a good half a season, and then fall asleep at football games that I pay 90 quid for. Like,
I want to kind of voice this opinion, and I don't know if you'll agree with it. I get when your team's getting slapped up and down the pitch, it's hard to take. But if you've paid for a ticket, I would expect you to stay there for the 90 minutes and support that fucking team. And it's not just West Ham, because I think for what you said last week, the scenes or the camera angles they were showing was that outside bar and stuff, and I think a lot of fans did come back. But the thing against Burnley, Turf Moor was fucking empty. I get it, but at the same time, you can be angry at the performance, but you sit there and you wait the 90 minutes and you clap those players when they come in fucking hour to you. I don't respect and I do not like when fans leave. What if you're gonna do that week in, week out? Give your ticket to somebody fucking else that's gonna sit there that's missed out on that game.
Well, two opinions on that. It's very much the same as we had banners. I think that's why I brought it up. We had banners at Forrest yesterday, and that's why there's been a big spiral about it, because ungrateful West Ham fans, all of this, just whatever. I'll see you later. But I know I agree to an extent. I don't think I've ever left a game early. I could be wrong, but I don't think I've ever left a game early. But I would put it out there that I was obviously at the Newcastle 5-1 last year. I
You were
wouldn't.
at Liverpool this year for was it 4-1?
5-1 again.
Exactly.
I don't begrudge anyone on leaving if they've got, say, it sounds stupid, if they've got a long journey or something like that. But at the same time, I do also agree if you paid 80 odd quid, you should probably watch it on 90 minutes. But also as well, mate, if your club ain't listening to you and you bought a season ticket, is what are you meant to do? You can only voice your opinion with the white seat behind you shown empty. So
I get that, but it's fucking Burnley, mate. But
yeah, no, I
Burnley,
get that.
they're not wanting company. They're not wanting. They didn't like the performance, and I get that. You don't have to like the performance, but then next week, don't go to the game. Then, if you're going to do the exact same, you're going to sit there for half an hour and lose and get beat, be losing 2-0. You're just going to get up and leave. Fuck off, mate. Newcastle fans will remember this. Arsenal went 4-0 up. Half them left the fucking stadium, and Newcastle clawed it back to fucking 4-4. Anything can happen in these fucking games in the Premier League. I don't like when fans leave and then they sit there and go, "Oh, we want this, we want that." If you want that, sit there and actually voice your opinion there. Don't fuck off to the pub half an hour through and then go, "I was shit." That fuck off. That it really pisses me off.
Any other comments? I've had my rant. Yep. That's all I wanted.
Roll on fucking Porto.
I will probably do a video on that as well if that's all right, Gav. When you end up losing to Porto. But yeah. Have a good weekend, guys. Oh no, sorry, it'll be Monday when this comes out. Have a good week. Sorry. And we'll be back at the weekend as well. We will have a video up for the Porto game as well when Arsenal probably undoubtedly beat Porto because I don't see them posing any threat towards you lot. Do you, Gav?
Nah, I can't really tell you who plays for them anymore. I don't even know if Pepe still plays for them. It's not the Porto of 10 years
Saka
ago.
will be injured then, if he does.
Fucking probably. Saka, he's just will come back for his knee injury. He's fucking ACL snap with stud marks in his knee. Fucking honestly. Nah, I think we'll win. Easy win.
Yeah, so do I, to be honest with you. But thank you guys and see you next week.
See you next week.
Cheers.